Hey everyone, hello. My name is Elijah Kim. I'm a co-founder of Clive Systems, and I have the privilege today to be interviewing one of our recent successful clients, Mr. Adam from AR Tramberg Roofing. He was able to go from actually previously never, him and his dad never really dabbled into online marketing before, hasn't had a lot of experience with it, and was in the search phase of finding someone who could establish his presence online to now 4 months later, is able to have a greater presence in his local area. We can dive in more in depth on what he's seen in terms of the results there. We've generated over, I think, almost 30 opportunities up until this point. And yeah, we have some jobs coming in as well, and more opportunity to foresee. So yeah, I have the privilege of having him on the call today. Thanks for joining on, Adam.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, first thing I'd like the audience to know, just tell us a little bit about who you guys are, what you do, where you guys are based out of, and your guys' market.
So we're in Midwest Wisconsin. My dad started the business 30 plus years ago. I've been doing this my whole life. We do all kinds of roofing and just kind of the only thing we've ever done, but we never really did any marketing. So that's why I contacted you guys. Thought it'd be a good idea to start doing a little marketing with all the social media and stuff going on today. And everything's been going pretty good. Been getting some opportunities and closed a bunch of jobs. Pretty impressed with. I think last week I had 6 leads. I believe closed 2 of them. This week I've had 4. Dropping off some bids tomorrow. Yeah, everything's going good. I
Nice.
like it, and I'm gonna continue using these guys.
Yes, sir. I guess the one thing I want to have the audience kind of have a peek in before working with us, right? What would you say was the big problem you were dealing with in your business before working with Clive?
Well, I mean, I think in any business, especially roofing, there's ebbs and flows. You have storms, which obviously help, but you don't want to have to rely on storms
Mm.
because you might not have a storm in your area. You want to rely on that retail business. You want to build up that reputation, and you hope the calls come in. But I think you know sometimes you got to go out and do a little marketing or advertising for yourself, which I had never really done. My dad had never really done in the past to generate some of them leads. And I think it was a good move on my part to get a hold of you guys and get that rocking.
For sure. Yeah. How would you say, like you kind of mentioned, a lot of contractors just rely on weather and storms to supply them with work, right? How do you think that impacted you and the others around you having that problem, just relying solely on the storm?
Well, it impacts everybody because I mean, corporate America is getting into the roofing business. They're seeing that it's a reciprocating business. There's always work if there's a storm. So there's gotten to be probably 20 times as many companies in our area, if not more, since I was a kid,
Mm.
which makes it a lot more competitive business, which makes that retail business mean that much more. Because as soon as a storm hits, it's like a swarm of bees coming into an area to take over. And
Yeah.
if you don't have that reputation and people don't know you, it's hard to get into the areas and get some work done.
Right. Establishing roots and actually being locally based rather than being, no, not trying to throw shade at other roofers, but storm chasers who only solely focus on just moving around place to place. They have a different style of business. They're playing a different game compared to the locally rooted, family-based operated businesses, right? That obviously can have a lot more competitive advantage, understanding their market, understanding the customers they serve, a referral chain, right? There's a lot of indirect benefits that come staying local. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say in your own words, Adam, how Clive Systems compares to other companies you've used before for lead generation?
This is the first time I've ever had a lead generation company, I guess.
Oh, I guess you
So
you, you also never even like Angie's or lead aggregators with that.
I've never used a lead generation company. I thought about it. And like I said, with our business, there's ebbs and flows usually by the spring. And this spring started out a little slower than I'd liked. That's why I was like, maybe I get into having a marketing company and leads company do some work for me. And then it really picked up, and then I contacted you guys, and yeah, it's been a great spring and summer, and continuing into the fall. It's been a good year.
Yes, sir.
So
I think it's up for growth. Yeah, I guess misinterpreted. I thought it was just even lead aggregators like Andrew. I know that's kind of like its own separate pool that I didn't know if you were referring to that, but you haven't even worked. So it's just been mainly like word of mouth as well. I guess prior to that, right? Just a referral
yep.
chain.
So that's all our business has been generated on. My dad started it years ago, built up a good reputation, and it's been mainly word of mouth. Very little advertising and a newspaper, anything like that. No Facebook ads or any Instagram or TikTok or anything like that. It's been just word of mouth, which I think is the best form of because then you're getting direct. Your customers are spreading you out. Not saying that this marketing isn't also great, but word of mouth is obviously the king of all marketing.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you get it's obviously a much more warm, hot lead, right? Dealing with someone who already knows
Yeah.
your brand. And oh, of course, a referral chain there's a lot of opportunity there. But also there's pros and cons to every source because what a lot of companies deal with too, and I'm sure you kind of seen this is referral-based growth can only last you so far, right? There's a cap at which the amount of referrals you can have per month, depending on the number of customers you signed previously. And there's not an actual scalable way to scale your referral chain, right? It's not like you can uh, I mean, you can run referral campaigns as much as you can, but you can't really force or have a predictable way of saying, "Hey, I want this many jobs this month. How can we get to that point?" Referrals kind of bottlenecks you in a lot of ways compared to like an online marketing system, right? It's more of a matter of pouring more fuel in the fire, so to speak, right? Once you find the proof of concept, you can find consistent growth and month over month you can continue supplying yourself with lead flow, which is a big, unique point about a business like this. What would you say, also, Adam, what's your personal like highlight or your favorite thing about the program that you love the most? It could be anything.
Well, I guess usually on Sundays, I just love when I get a text and it says, "You guys set everything up for me." So it's basically show up to so and so's house at this time. They got a 15-year-old roof. They got the finances to take care of the business, or to pay for the job. They want a new roof. Basically, I just have to show up and close, and that's what I do. That's what I like to do. So I think it's great. Just getting them texts and having all the description in there about and setting up the time, and I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, streamlining that.
I'm happy I'm doing it.
Yeah, yes, sir. Awesome. How much in just speaking of like the results as well, how much would you say like estimated revenue you've completed so far and like in what time frame? And also how much
Uh,
from
four
this?
months, probably 25 to 30 grand. That's obviously gross sales, but made pretty good profit off that. Well beyond paying for the system and paying for the ads and the leads. It's working. I'd have people texting me, "Yeah, geez, your ads are popping up all the time on my computer," and I was like, "Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do." And I got friends in different areas. They're like, "Wow, you must be doing a lot of ads," and that's what you guys are doing. I don't even really. I mean, I pay attention to it, but I don't. I got a lot going on with work that
Sure,
I
yeah.
just look forward to getting them texts that saying you got to be here at 3 o'clock and close a sale, and everything's in a description. I just go there and knock it out.
Yes, sir. We're streamlining the whole A through Y, and then you do this the last step, which is just showing up, closing the sale, right? It's what we want you guys focused on at the
Yeah.
end of the day. So awesome, man. I guess the interesting thing is like now being on the other side of the coin, Adam, you kind of can compare your before state to after, right? There was a transition between now and before working with us. Where do you think you would be today if you hadn't joined the program 4 months ago?
Well, obviously, I closed a bunch of jobs, so I'd be short that money. But I definitely think it was a smart choice hiring you guys. Even going to a lead, not getting the job, you're making a connection, sharpening your skills. like I said, I mean, there's never a bad thing, even if you get turned down. You just sharpen your skills and go after the next one. And I think, people get discouraged when they get
Hmm.
turned away or don't get a job. And I mean, that's just part of life. If you get, a small percentage of them, you can make it. If you get a little bit bigger percentage, you can have a really good life. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we got a good thing going, and I'd recommend you guys to anybody.
Well, we appreciate that. And that's a really good mindset to have when it comes to like, the abundance mindset, right? Every single opportunity is still an opportunity to learn and to grow. Even if you don't close every single one, right? It's ultimately a numbers game, like you said. You just got to close at a percent. One last question I got for you, Adam, and then we'll wrap up. Let's imagine right now there's someone else watching this interview between you and I, right? Maybe they're another roofer that is looking to scale their roofing company and they were on the fence about booking a call or taking that next step to speak with us about joining the program. What would you say to that person?
Well, I think investing in yourself and your business is never a bad thing. And if you can handle the leads and you don't have a lot of work, I think it's foolish not to reach out to you guys and just go for it. I mean, I started on a 3 month trial. Now I'm on my fourth month. I'm going to keep rocking because the leads keep coming in. And it's all a lot of the closing that's on my end. They're setting up leads for me, and I just got to come in and make the sale. So if you think you can close some jobs, these boys will get you the leads. They're good at what they do.
Amen to that. Love the way to end that off. Awesome. Well, we appreciate the kind words, Adam. We also look forward, obviously, to future business and more opportunity for you guys. And yeah, thanks for hopping on the call with me. And thanks everyone also who's watching this interview. If you're that person right now who needs to hear that message that Adam just said to us, what are you doing? Go ahead and book that call right now or take that next step of speaking to our team so we can draft up a custom game plan for you to see how we can help and see how your specific situation can be solved. So, yeah, thank you for your interest. Thank you, Adam, for the interview today, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good, buddy.
Awesome.